Hi there, I'm Tanya Bennett, and it's time for another edition of Hump Day Holla. So, today's Hump Day Holla, we are going to talk about the stories we tell ourselves. I've had two experiences happen this week that I'd like to share. The first scenario, I have a very dear friend who is over the age of 50, and she is a badass. Like, she runs an office, and she literally, it's a very successful office. She's made tons of money. The people under her are making tons of money. And she approached me recently and told me she feels washed up because she's over the age of 50. Like, the best days are behind her. Scenario two, very dear friend was hosting this networking group. And in this networking group, this woman has been very successful for years, has a very successful business. The networking group is completely free. And she is hosting this networking group. And recently she had some ladies that were in the networking group that spoke up and said that they were kind of uncomfortable with the direction things were going. So she came to me, she asks me, Tanya, I have to ask you, why are women so critical of each other? And I paused for a second, and I came back and I was like, you know what? That's not the question I would have asked after hearing this story. The question I would have asked is, why do women care? So let's talk about that. Ladies, we cannot deny that we grew up in a different world and experienced the world differently than the way a man does. Most men played sports growing up, some type of sports, even if it was t-ball, little league, what have you. In those sports, they are taught how to subliminally take criticism, not take things personal, correct themselves without feeling defeated. Now, let's talk about the sports that women were offered, especially for my age. I'm 45. When I was growing up, very limited amount of sports that women had access to. Prime example, I was a cheerleader. I was a competitive cheerleader, even cheered in college. But I will say that when I was trying out for cheer, yes, my talent, my skill set was taken into account. But I can also tell you that attractive levels, is this girl attractive, is also part of the equation. Do they have the look? I have to ask you, when a boy is being coached or trying out for the basketball team, does the coach say, does he have the look? Will he look good on the floor? No. We wonder why women take things personal. It has been ingrained in us. So how do we change this? I think that there's two ways, and they both revolve around mindset. We have to look at what can we control and what's out of our control. Ladies, I hate to tell you, but unfortunately, we cannot control right now that at the end of the day, it's a man's world, and that we are trying to assimilate to think and behave like a man in order to find success, okay? That is shifting, but we're just not there yet. So what can we control? In the first scenario of the woman that is over the age of 50 feeling washed up, challenge herself and asking, if I were a man over the age of 50 and producing exactly what I'm producing, I would be seen as someone that is in their prime. So I'm going to start acting like I'm in my prime. And today, I'm going to walk into the room like I own it, and I'm going to be the badass that I am. Challenge your self-talk and stop telling yourself stories that are not true. Who cares if other people believe them? If we believe them, we are self-sabotaging ourselves and creating it. In the second scenario, yes, you are uncomfortable by receiving feedback or criticism. Step back, ask yourself, is this true? If it is not true, then take the emotion out of it and approach the situation in a logical fashion. Go back to these women, dig a little bit deeper, ask what is their problem? What issues are they specifically having? Because chances are you probably didn't go there because you shut down because you felt attacked. And then you can make the decision, okay, I think you're right, this isn't the group for you. Women aren't taught that. We have to people please. You don't. I'm giving you permission today that you are allowed to say you don't want to work with everyone. You don't want to be friends with everyone. And gasp, you don't have to like everyone. When we learn to accept that, we stand in our truth and our power. And once you start standing in your truth and your power, there is no wavering from it. that guides you in your decision-making process. So that's today's Hump Day Holla. I hope that helps someone today. Happy Hump Day, y'all.